Dear students, today in the principles of management, we are going to discuss about the various management thought, which is the part of your unit 1. There are various types of the management theory in management. Apart from autocratic, authoritarian, or pre-scientific area, which is earlier to 1880s of the early period, several schools of management thought are identified and classified in several ways by experts. So it is interested to note that while early writings or management principles came from experienced practitioners, and the more recent writing tends to come from academic theorists, of whom we have had no direct experience in organizational management. So, if we see the history of management, a number of more or less separate schools of management thought have emerged, and each sees management from its own, has classified the management theories, which is grouped into 6 groups. What are these 6 groups? 1. Management process school, the empirical school, the human behavioral school, the social system school, the decision theory school, and the mathematical schools. So if we add one more style or approach of its own, the various styles which is cited by the Herbert Hicks in his books, which is the name of the book is The Management of Organizations, and again leaving the early perspectives. So we can classify the management theories into 3 broad groups. These 3 broad groups are classical management theory, second neoclassical management theory, and third is modern management theory. So under each group of these 3 groups, each group a few schools of thoughts which is identified. So these 3 groups of schools of management thought are currently in vogue and found adequate for the purpose. Let us talk about the classical management theory. The classical management theory was developed in during the 1880s to 1920s. It consists of a group of similar ideas of the management of organization, which is involved in the late 19th century and early 20th century. The classical school is sometimes called the traditional schools of management among practitioners. So this school evolved as a result of the industrial revolution in response to the growth of large organization, and in contrast of handicraft system that exist till now. So it contains 3 branches, which is namely as scientific management, administrative principles, and bureaucratic organization. The predominant and common characteristics of all 3 branches is the emphasis on the economic rationality of management and organization. The economic rationality of the individual employees at work assumes that people choose the course of action that maximizes their economic reward. In other words, we can say, in other words, uh, we can say economic rationality assumes that people are motivated by economic incentives, and that they make choice that yield the greatest monetary benefits. Thus, we can say to get employees to hard work, managers should appeal to their monetary desires. So this assumptions, it is based on the pre pessimistic view of human nature. So while they are true to some extent, they also overlook some optimistic ideas aspects. So classical theory recognized human emotions but felt the human emotion could be controlled by the logical or rational structuring of jobs and work. So primary contribution of the classical schools of management includes application of science to the practice of management, second development of the basic management function, and third articulation and application of specific principles of management. So number 1 is the scientific management. Number one is the scientific management. F.W. Taylor, who is also called as a father of scientific management theory, he supported his field by Henry Grant and various authors. So all these disciples of the Taylor became famous on their own right. So together with the Taylor, they revolutionized management thinking. So scientific management is the name given in the principle and practices that was grow up with of the work of Frederick Taylor and uh, and his followers. So it is characterized by concern for efficiency and systematization of management. So both four basic parts of series of ideas developed by Taylor is like one, each person should be broken down into elements and a scientific way to perform each element should be determined. Second, workers should be scientifically and trained to do the work in the designed and trained manner, and there should be good cooperation between management and workers so the tasks are performed in the designed manner. So there should be a division of labor between managers and workers. Managers should take over the work of supervising and setting up instructions and designing the work, and the workers should be free to perform the work themselves. So thus the scientific method provides a logical framework for the analysis of problem, basically which is defining the problem, gathering the data, analyzing the data, developing alternatives and selecting the best alternatives. Taylor also believed that following the scientific management method would provide a way to determine the most efficient way to perform work. So instead of abdicated responsibility for establishing standards. So among these all are the features of the scientific management function, which was developed by the F.W. Taylor, but there are many various limitations also. So because it is criticized with the various grounds. No man is entirely on economic man, and man behavior is dictated not only for financial needs but other needs also, like social needs, security needs and esteem needs. So hence we can say that it may not be always be true that economic incentives are strong enough to motivate workers. And secondly, we can say there is no such things as one best way of doing a job, which is said by the F.W. Taylor, so far as the component motions are concerned, and hence time and motion study may not be entirely scientific. Two studies which is done by two different person may time the same job entirely different. So thirdly, separate of planning and doing a job and the greater specialization inherent in the system tends to reduce the need for skill and produce greater monotony of work. So lastly, we can say that the advances in the method and better tools and machines eliminate some workers causing resentment and from them. So it is all about the classical mm, uh, scientific management theory, which comes under the classical management theory. There is the another theory which is called administrative uh, management, because it was the scientific management. Second one was the administrative management. We will discuss in my next lecture. Thank you so much.